friends? What are you guys all up to on this Friday? Hope everyone is good. I'm hanging, super busy, doing lots of writing, recording, jamming. Always got a guitar in my hand. That's my job, and I take my job seriously. What are you guys all up to today, huh? Let me turn on the comments. I've been on for a day or two, I think, getting ready for the Hail the Horns tour coming up in November. I have my solo shows coming up. What's up, Johnny Foreigner? I'm good, man. Just chilling. Nice day today. Nice day today. The sun is out. I think it's going to be a good weekend, What are you guys all up to, yo? Everybody good? Any requests? Anything you guys want to talk about? We're doing a lot of revamping here on my YouTube channel, trying to get it to grow. So appreciate all the support. What up, Bryce? How are you, man? And making moves, getting things done. Getting things done. A lot of cool projects I'm working on. Right on, Johnny. Yeah, I did that a while ago. What we're doing is I'm trying to get all my videos that I've done over the years that I did on Facebook over here now to my YouTube channel. So we're going to be uploading a lot more of my videos. Why did I use a 7-string? I go back and forth. I use 6, I use 7. Just depends on what I'm doing, what project. I started using a 7-string because I was doing a lot more solos, but a lot more low B tunings and A tunings. So it just made sense to use a 7-string. As far as when we go to do this El Nino reunion that we're doing, and we're going to be playing a lot of those old songs, I'll probably be playing a 6-string because we're tuned to C, a drop tuning. So it makes more sense to use a 6-string for that because we're doing a drop tuning. So it just depends on tunings and all that nonsense, which personally I can't stand. I'm all about just playing in standard E and playing a 7-string or a 6-string, but everybody has their preference, on what they want to tune to. And obviously with Soulfly, we did all these different kind of low tunings, which really served no purpose at all, but just to confuse everybody. No, I never got to meet Dimebag, man. I should, all right. I was in his presence a couple times, and he's obviously one of my favorite guitar players of all time. I was around Dimebag, at festivals. I would see him. I got some fist bumps out of him. But listen, I'm the kind of dude, I don't like to bother people, especially, like for instance, when I met Dime just in passing, I just gave him a fist bump. Like, hey, bro, big fan. Love what you do. When I met another one of my favorite guitar players of all time, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. I love that dude. He's one of my favorites. When I met him at an airport, I said the same thing. Hey, Tom, big fan, fist bump. I didn't want to bother him. I didn't want to freaking harass him for a pic. I didn't want to talk his ear off about things. I don't like to do that. I'm cool with people. I like to talk and be personal, but I like to give people space. I don't like to sit there and talk someone's ear off. And I don't know what Tom was doing. Maybe he had to take a shit. I don't want to bother the guy. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was on his way somewhere. Maybe the bathroom. Maybe he had an important phone call. Maybe he had a death in his family. I don't know. But I'm a huge fan. So all I did when I met Tom Morello was, hey, bro, big fan. And I got a fist bump. I was very happy with that. Very happy with getting a fist bump from Tom Morello. And when I met Dime, it was the same thing. I just, hey, Dime, big fan, bro. Big fan. I will say we were supposed to do, thank you, Chris. We were supposed to do a Soulfly Damage Plan tour. And then, all that tragedy happened and that tour never happened, unfortunately. But I was really hoping and figured that if that tour was going to happen with Damage Plan, that I probably would have hung out with Dime a lot, and I definitely would have, picked his brain, took maybe a guitar lesson from him, and really picked his brain about guitar playing. And people I know that were very close to Dimebag, they always tell me that they thought that me and Dime probably would have became very good friends because of our love for music and guitar. And I mean, I would have been in awe of the guy. I would have just shut up and sat there and watched him play every night, and that he would have appreciated that too. So, you know, I have a lot of mutual friends that Dime had from Texas, and you know, he's one of my favorites, man. I really wish I would have got to hang with him and really chill with him. I really do. But I'll tell you, I listen to him every day, though. There's not a day that goes by where I don't listen to Dime for inspiration. You know, one of my favorite things to do is I go here on YouTube and watch all those videos of him playing live, his unaccompanied guitar solos live. That inspires me so much, man. His legato, his feel, his phrasing. It just doesn't end with that guy, man. He's just non-stop inspiration. You know, when that Dime Vision came out, I used to watch that every day. That was like my on tour thing to do. Wake up, have a cup of coffee, and put the Dime Vision in the TV, in the DVD player, and just freaking bug out on his guitar playing, you know, and get inspired. So, you know, we still have that inspiration. You know, it's the thing is, as a musician, you know, that inspiration never ends, man. So, God bless him. So what's up? What are you guys all up to out there? Boom! Isosceles. Ed Rodriguez wants to hear Isosceles. All right, bro, I'll play that for you right now, man. That's I always say Isosceles is one of my favorite solo songs to play. I've been playing it in my set list for years now. It's off my first record, Colossal Myopia. It was one of the first songs I ever wrote for my first solo record, Colossal Myopia, and it's got, I think, some classic riffs that maybe you guys know me for, which is just like some heavy groove type metal riffs. I was talking the other day about how it's in harmonic minor. I do a lot of E harmonic minor or harmonic minor two scales, you know. So that song is definitely based on that, and just a great head banging, grooving song that goes over really good live when I play it. So, the Riddle of Steel. All right, bro. I'll play that too. I do a short version of the Riddle of Steel because on the record, that, you know, listen, Ultimate Devotion was probably some of my most technical, craziest stuff I ever did. It was the last record I ever made for Shrapnel, and Shrapnel had this weird thing in their contract. For me, it was weird, where they wanted you. What's up, Duff? Where they wanted you to write songs that were no shorter than 5 minutes and no longer than 10. So I had to write songs, you know, that were pretty long, you know, and I personally don't like songs that go that long. Right on, Odin's Child, crank it up. I don't really like songs that go any longer than like 4-5 minutes tops. Just for me, for metal, that is. Just because I like to get to the point, you know. But that was the deal with Shrapnel. They wanted to be more, you know, progressive and long songs. So I think Riddle of Steel, I got a little bit overboard. I think that song's over 10 minutes, man. I think it's like 11 minutes, and there's a lot of riffs. I probably could have made 3 songs out of that song. But the version that I play, that I'm going to play after Isosceles here, it's a short version. It's like a 4-minute version of the Riddle of Steel, and I left out a couple riffs. It's the way we used to play it with my band that I had about 10 years ago, and the way I do it to my backing track is the short version of Riddle of Steel. Maybe one day I'll try to do it live. I'd have to go and, you know, get the band back or do a new live, a new backing track version of the Riddle of Steel. But yeah, it's a very long song on the record, which is cool, you know. But I just was getting, after I stopped making records for Shrapnel, I just didn't want to make songs that went on for 10 minutes anymore. I wanted to kind of shorten them up, try to make them about 4 minutes long and right to the point. I like songs that are, you know, technical, heavy, but right to the point. You know, I don't like it to go too long for me. That's just my opinion. All right, I'm gonna play Isosceles for whoever that was that requested it. Some Isosceles, if I can find it. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. We're getting there. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on. Hurt my neck. Alright. Here it is. So what else is up, guys? Any good news? What are you all up to? I appreciate you all tuning in. I'm trying to build this channel, so thank you for the support, man. Yeah, man, I'll show you crumblings in a minute. It's my song. Isosceles. All right, somebody wanted to hear Riddle of Steel, right? Let's do some Riddle of Steel, people. What's up, what's up, what's up? One of you guys was talking about Frontlines, and, you know, it's a great song I love to talk about because, um, again, that was a very, very important song for my time in Soulfly that I had a major part in the writing of. I basically presented it to the band as is. I have the demo versions of it. You can hear it. And I'll probably put it up one day. It's with a drum machine, and it's exactly the way it is on the record, same arrangement and everything. Just no vocals, obviously. And it was an important song because it was the first time that Soulfly started to go back to a thrash metal sound like Beneath the Remains and Arise, stuff Max was known for back in the day. And that song is what put the band on the map, you know, especially with the change in music. You know, if you remember, it's funny how people forget, but if you remember back in like 2003, 2004, the new metal thing, the simple Korn down-tuned riffs, that was starting to not be as popular anymore, and people wanted to get back to that old metal sound, which I personally love. I've always been a fan of that. That's always where my heart has been. Even during the whole new metal era, I was always cranking metal records, old school thrash and stuff, Overkill, Slayer, and death metal like Suffocation. So when I joined Soulfly, I really was like, yo man, we need to try to get this guy back to that thrash metal sound. And a major part of that change had to do with myself and Joe Nunez being in the band, because we both were into death metal and thrash, and we would be jamming this stuff, you know, while we were in the studio, and Max would overhear it and be like, yo, let's use that, you know, and that's how a lot of those records were made. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. And Joe Nunez will tell you that soon too. He's going to be doing some interviews, I heard, very soon, talking about that exact statement. So be ready for that, because that'll go into songs like Frontlines, which were very, very important, I think, to the sound of the band and keeping the band relevant during the 2005, 2006 era, when you had all these bands like Lamb of God coming out, Killswitch Engage, God Forbid, one of my favorites, you know, all these revival, I guess they were calling it thrash metal bands with a lot of technical, fast guitar playing, and Trivium was another one. You know, it was a change in metal again, and you know, that was a big part of what I think carried Soulfly through those years, was that influence of trying to bring that sound back. And you know, guys like Joe Nunez never really got the credit he deserved for that change in the sound of music. You know, he was a big part of it, man. He was a thrash metal drummer that could play those thrash beats, those death metal grind beats. I mean, he was a beast behind the drum set. So hopefully Joe will be doing some interviews soon to talk about it, because it is very interesting on his part, you know, what he brought to the band during that era, and he never really got to talk about it, you know, and he never really did any interviews. So I'm really hoping he'll come out and talk about it, you know, just like Dave Kincaid did. He did a great interview with that Rock Talks on YouTube, and talked about the making of that Enslaved record, which is my favorite record, and one of my favorite records I ever made, you know. I gotta get some new picks, man. These are losing their sharpness. So what else is up? What do you guys want to know? What do you want to hear? And on that note too, you have to check out my new project, Revenge Beast, because that's the style we're going for. It's old school, early 90s death metal, late 80s thrash. I'm doing a lot of leads. You know, if you liked what I did during those years of songs like Frontlines, you know, that influence that I had on Soulfly, you're going to love my project, Revenge Beast, because Revenge Beast, we're continuing with that vibe. You know, that is something I'm very passionate about, is old school thrash, death metal, you know, the heavy riffs, the technical stuff. We're going to continue. So check out my project, Revenge Beast. I got a bunch of videos up here on YouTube. I'll be doing some playthrough videos soon. We're about to drop another video for one of our new songs. Getting ready to work on another one. I mean, this project Revenge Beast is going to be some of the heaviest stuff you've ever heard, I promise. Alright, somebody want to hear the Riddle of Steel. It's another one of my favorites. Very Yngwie Malmsteen-ish. You know, it's got kind of a classical feel. What up, man? What up, Rentos? I wrote you on Facebook today. We'll talk there, man. Go. What up, dog? Most of my solo records are in E. We'll talk about that in a minute after the song. Yeah, I don't know Ambush. That's Sepultura, isn't it? I don't know all the Sepultura songs, man. And honestly, I've learned enough Sepultura songs in my time. I don't need to learn anymore, man. I got other stuff I got to practice too. Well, thank you, JT. Yeah, the full song goes on and on, a lot of riffs. One day maybe I'll go back and relearn it. It's just that was one of those songs that I really was out to prove something, and I think I achieved it. But to play it live, 10 minutes of that song, it may be too much. So it is what it is. So somebody was asking about my picking and my elbow. What were you talking about? My elbow, my arm. I don't really know, man. Honestly, I try to practice good technique, but I really use my ear, man. It just I don't really know what my hand exactly is doing. I try to pick every note, but I try to also put some legato in to make it sound smoother. You got to use your ear. It's all about connecting your hand, your arm with your ear, and go with what suits you best. Like in the last couple months, almost a year, I've always known this. For me, I love playing the SG. I love this body shape. I'm very comfortable on playing a guitar like this. I know when I do solos, I like to kind of come back a little bit more to the bridge. I feel like I get a smoother picking tone. And having an SG with this style, fixed bridge or like a Les Paul, I'm just very comfortable, man. And I feel like I can really uh, let loose with my picking and not be so like stuck next to a Floyd Rose or a different style of bridge. So it's just whatever works for you, man. I mean, it's whatever you're comfortable. Go with what works for you. That's really what's important. And some people pick every note. Some people do more legato. Some people do both. Some people um, combine legato with the picking. I mean, that to me, that's all your preference, and that's how you develop a style. Is by going with what works for you, with your ear, what kind of tone you're going for. I mean, a lot of tone, I believe, comes from your hands and your picking and your technique that you develop. Um, I could talk about that all day long. So use your ear to what you're going for. Some people want to hear every note picked. Some people want to hear economy picking, where they're mixing legato with picking. Um, it's all your preference, man. That's how styles are created, is by doing what works best for you and what you feel comfortable and what kind of sound you're going for. So yeah, I love legato too, man. Some of my favorite players were legato players, like George Lynch, Dimebag, Warren DeMartini. I just feel like Eddie Van Halen. When you have a great legato, I feel like um, you can really just let loose and just take two or three notes and make them sound like more than what you really know with legato. You just take pentatonics. I don't know. For me, I like that sound. I love George Lynch. How he'll take three notes and just be like. I love his technique, man. It's to me, it's just interesting to hear the legato players, man. But then I love the guys who pick every note. Zakk Wylde is one of my favorites, and he's a pick every note kind of player too, and as is Yngwie. Although Yngwie, I love the way Yngwie mixes legato with picking. He makes you think he's picking every note, but he'll do licks like his descending stuff where it's like, I'm not even good at it. Where he's mixing the picking with the legato. I love that, man. That's such a cool style. Cool, man. We'll do some more jamming for you guys, man. What do you want to hear? Any requests? Here's a good one. This is an old song from one of my old bands. I got chunky rips for days, my friend. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, bro. What's up, Anthony Y? Who are you, bro? Are you from back in the day, man? At those crankcase shows in the 90s with my buddies. Everybody from Lyndhurst, my whole area, right? Crankcase was awesome. For a lot of you guys that don't know, Crankcase was one of my old bands from, it started in like 94, 93 actually. So I was like a 16-year-old kid. Me and my drummer Mario Bertoli, we met up in high school, and brought my good friend John Funicello to sing, our other great guitar player friend Marc Nemick to play guitar. Okay, yeah. What's up, Anthony? I remember you. How you been, man? How you been? So, yeah. So I had this project back then. For those of you that don't know, "Killing Inside." That's a great song. I did a playthrough. Go to my YouTube channel and put in Marc Rizzo "Killing Inside." You can see I played it. I don't have a 7-string here right now. I'll have to do that again. But you can watch the playthrough here on YouTube. So Crankcase was a band I had in the early to mid '90s, and dude, listen, man, we were. I like to think we were ahead of our time. We were a thrash metal, death metal, hardcore band that was doing super heavy vocals, screaming, with breakdowns, technical thrash, death metal riffing, with a hardcore vibe, a lot of guitar solos, stuff that's popular now. And we were doing it in like 93, 94. And we should have got a deal. We should have went on to do cool things. It never really, we did cool things in our area. We opened up for a lot of big bands in our area, played clubs. We used to do these outdoor parties. Yeah, I could play some crankcase. Hold on. Anyway, I would love to release some of the stuff. The demos were never really recorded properly. I kind of wish that we'd go into the studio and maybe re-record some of that stuff, because the songs were great. The playing was great. We definitely were ahead of our time, I think, but we just never had a good recording to really show that. Like back in those days, it was very expensive to record. This is before the whole digital Pro Tools and people doing it in their basement. It was very difficult in that era. In the early '90s to get a good right there, a good proper recording. So anyway, we're working on that, to maybe put out something like that. You know what I'm saying? So just gotta see what happens, man. I want to do the reunion. I want to do a whole bunch of things. We just gotta wait and see what's up when the rest of the guys will be available for that. So yeah, but look it up, Crankcase, man. I think we did put up like a MySpace page years ago, but I gotta get it back up on YouTube. And you guys used to have that band called Deviation. Remember that? You guys were great. You used to play with us all the time. It was a good time, man. Deviation and those crankcase shows down the meadows and house parties, man. It was a good time, a lot of fun, man. I had a great childhood, you All right, guys. Great hang. I'm gonna get going. What's my favorite death metal band? I always tell you, man, Suffocation. Big Suffocation fan, dude. Terrence on guitar is one of my favorites of all times, and Suffocation was always one of my favorite death metal bands, man. You know, yo, East Coast, man. Listen, we're very underrated here on the East Coast. So my favorite thrash metal band, Overkill from Jersey. My favorite death metal band of all time, Suffocation from Long Island. My favorite metal hardcore crossover band, Biohazard. Dude, listen, man, East Coast has always had some of the best metal, extreme music. It's just, you know, I mean, my favorite bands are on the West Coast too, but Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, but I just feel like the East Coast kind of gets overlooked sometimes. We had some of the greatest extreme type of bands, you know, punk rock, hardcore, Agnostic Front, Cro-Mags, you know, early punk rock, Ramones. I mean, this is the mecca, man, of some of my favorite bands, you know, and I'm very proud of coming from this place and the vibe that's from here and how cool the music is out here. So, also look up one of my favorite bands ever, Candiria from New York. They'll blow your mind away, man. So, all right, guys, everyone have a great night. I'm out of here. Peace.